Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for having me here. So my name is Lukasz Kukawski. I'm a PR and marketing guy from gamesrepublic.com, which is a digital distribution platform by 11-bit studios, the guys behind This War of Mine, or recently announced Frostpunk. What is my background? Actually, I'm working in the gaming industry for 8 years now, and most of the time I actually worked on different digital distribution projects. So starting with GOG.com, then moving to a regional project based in Poland for Polish gamers, which was an e-commerce for gamers where we sold games, but also movies, books, comic books, etc. And then I moved again to a global project, which is gamesrepublic.com. I'm here to talk about things you should or shouldn't do while building brand awareness for your digital distribution, basically. So there are plenty of things you have to do or really can't do, but I'll just, as a marketing person, I just focus on things to do when you're actually building a brand for yourself. But before I go to the actual do's and don'ts, let's just talk a bit about how the digital distribution looks like. So as of today, it's 47% of global game revenues planned in 2016 will come from digital distribution. And that's only PC and consoles, not including mobile. So as you can see, digital distribution got really, really big. And it's not the future, it's actually happening right now. So 47% out of probably around $100 billion comes from digital distribution of PC games and console games. So how does it stand in digital distribution in comparison to retail? As you can see, 3 times more revenue from digital distribution than from retail. So as you can see, boxed games are probably going, it's over. Well, they probably be there because as a gamers, you know that you want to have the physical thing on your shelf. But most of the people are actually going for digital distribution and they don't care about boxes. So it's 3 times more digital distribution than retail, right? So how does the digital distribution market look like today? So first off, we have the leader, which is, unfortunately, it's Steam. We don't know the exact numbers, but around 80 to 90% of all sales are generated via Steam. So that's the most of everything that's happening in digital distribution comes from Steam. Then we have the alternatives. So places that do digital distribution, but they do it differently. They try to come up with different things than Steam does. That's GOG.com, that's Humble Indie Bundle. And Uplay and Origin, they're right there because they have some exclusive AAA titles, not having them on Steam, so they have their cut. But still, it's like 20 to 10% actually of the market. And then we have plenty of followers. There's like tens of different digital distribution platforms that are just following what Steam does. So they have their games in their offer, and they try to get the cut from the market, but it happens better or worse. So these are like small players in front of those alternatives and the leader, of course. So what does this actually environment, what it does, it creates some issues for digital distribution. So I came up with 3 main problems. So the first one is actually Steam. So Steam is a problem for digital distribution because of its monopoly. And as we know, monopoly in any market isn't actually good, right? Like I said, it's 80 to 90% sales coming from Steam. And what's even worse, I would say, that not only digital distribution games are on Steam, but also if you buy boxed games, you won't find a CD, you just find a Steam code. So even if you buy a boxed game, you're still going to Steam. What else? Price wars. That's something what followers do. So because they don't have anything actually that differentiate them from all of the digital distribution platforms, they're trying to get their cut in the market just by cutting down prices. That's okay for us customers, sure, but as publishers, they don't really like to see their brand new releases, for example, getting 25, 30, 35% cut on the release day. So actually, if you do that, you probably get an email from publishers saying, sorry, we won't get our games on your platform because you're just ruining our sales. The last thing is what actually was the big thing about digital distribution was it was different than retail. In retail, you had the short shelf, right? You only had place for 20 titles to show on the shelf, right? And while digital distribution allows anyone to actually create a game and show it to the public. That was the big thing about digital distribution. I'm creating a game, and then I can show it to people, and I don't have to worry about the short shelf. So if it's Q4 and like big titles are coming, of course they will get the prominent place on shelves, but the other titles won't just show up there. Digital distribution allowed it to show up, and even if it's many new releases at the same day, they can actually get their place there. But because of Steam, we actually have a short shelf in digital distribution as well. We have around 300 new releases every month. That's mainly indie titles, because indie is really big right now. But and everyone wants to go to Steam, right? And Steam is only one, so we have 300 titles each month. Steam has, what, featured titles, 5, maybe 6 on the main slider. If you're not there, well, you get sales like, I don't know, well, your sales are dead, basically. If you're not featured on the main page of Steam, you won't sell your game. So that's the issue with digital becoming actually retail. Okay, so I'll try to address those issues and just show you things that actually can help you find your place in this competitive market. Sorry. Okay, so I'll just focus on basics, because we could probably talk much about what you can do and what you can't do to actually get your digital distribution platform out there and have a success. But I'm just going to focus on some basics because of this short presentation. But I focused on basics because they're the most important for us. If you have the basics, then you're good to go and have more stuff to do and get your digital distribution better. So first off, create community. I know we're tempted to get to social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The people you're looking for are there, of course, but they're spread all over the place. And if you really want to create true community, you have to create some tools inside your service so they can actually come to your place and have a true community around your service. So why do you need a community inside your service? Because your community, if you have people that actually like what you do and you have a community, they will go out there, go to the internet and spread all over the place saying, hey, those guys are really cool, they're doing cool things, come over, have some fun, play games, buy games, talk with us. So you have free publicity via your community. Also, the community gives you, or gives your users a reason to come back. Because people don't want to buy games all the time, right? So give them a reason to come back, just to talk to other people. If you have friends in the community, you'll get back there, even if you don't want to buy any games, but just to chit-chat with your friends there. And if you come back, it's, you know, it gets you, if you're coming back and back and back, and finally, even if you're not buying games, finally they will convert into buying customers. Next thing, your community will actually do testing of your platform for free, because they're going to give you feedback, give you and try to you know, tell you what's going on, what's happening wrong, what their issues are, and you can actually bug fix everything that you would miss normally. What else? Community will be your customer service. You have to have customer service. We'll be talking about it later. But if you're not actually following, because I know it's night, and people just post their problems in the community, in the forum or whatever you have there, you know, other people will come over, try to help them. So it's a free customer service for you. This will also, the community will give a validation among other gamers who are not, who don't know your platform. So they're just like the evangelist. They're going to say, hey, these guys are okay. I buy games there. Everything's fine. They're cool. They're doing fun stuff, etc. So, and finally, your community actually will sell games. Because you have the recommendations, the review systems, everything that will actually force people to, you know, comment on the games you have. These will actually convert into sales, because what else is better than actually a review or recommendations from your friend, from the community, from people that you actually know. You won't believe me as a marketing person that this game is great and you should have it, because, you know, I'm a marketing person. That's my job to do it. But if you hear it from your friend in the community, you're more likely to actually buy the game. So, next up we have the customer service, basically. Treat your customers like VIPs, and don't be afraid to say sorry. That's a basic, right? We all know you have to have customer service, and you need to watch out for your customers. But it's easy, but not everyone is actually doing it. That's why I'm mentioning it here. Okay, so you actually don't see it here, so I'll tell you that. That's, you probably heard about it. That's from a couple of years ago. It's a chat between Amazon customer service and one of their customers. So the guy had an issue with a book. They didn't deliver the book. So he started a chat with customer service. And the customer service person actually started a role play with the guy. So he introduced himself as Thor. And the customer actually picked up the role play and introduced himself as Odin, so father of Thor. So the conversation goes within the role play, and they're having fun. But finally, what's the main thing? The customer service actually gets the job done. So the customer gets what he was asking for. So he got a refund. He got his book delivered. So everything happened okay. And the guy was so happy about the customer service that Amazon probably got a lifetime customer. And it was just because of a short chat with the customer service. So that's something you can do without having huge money. Just taking care of your customer will get you a loyal, great fan. So something we already know, but put in the numbers. So you don't see it here. So it's 64% of customers expect real-time solution. So if you're doing customer service, you need to act fast. Then 72% of customers say that the customer service or the reputation of a company's customer service makes them actually want to buy there. 75 people would return to the shop that has excellent customer service. So that's what you have to do while giving customer a perfect customer service. Be quick and act like you would do it for yourself. So put yourself in the boots of your customer, and basically that will get you loyal customers, users. That's actually that's from Games Republic. It's from our Trustpilot reviews. So there was a guy, he had some issues with buying a game. He tried to pay for the game via PayPal, via credit card, and by one credit card, via second credit card, and there was an issue with the payment. So he got blocked, and he posted a review with a 1-star review. So we just saw the review, went through his order, saw what's happening, and just replied to him and say, "We are sorry. It's our fault. You shouldn't have, had such an experience with an online shop, and we're truly sorry. We're working on solving the issue you have, and we actually gave him some discount, whatever." And the guy was actually edited that review, saying we approached him without even he didn't ask for it, but we approached him. We said sorry, and he was actually before that he said he will never come back to the store. But after that, he said, "Hey, I'll give it a try again. These guys are cool. They actually reach out to me, and I'm going to give them a second chance." So a small thing, but actually you can turn bad experience into loyal customer. Okay, these two guys, I don't know if you know them. That's back in 2010. The guy on the right is Marcin Iwiński, who is a co-founder of CD Projekt Red, the studio from the Witcher franchise. While the guy on the left is Guillaume Rombourg, who was then managing director of GOG.com. So why are they dressed like monks? Well, we did some marketing stuff back in 2010. What we did actually is we closed out GOG.com. Just one Monday, people, instead of seeing the main page, they saw this. So a very simple HTML text saying, "Dear users, GOG.com had to be closed. We cannot actually run this like we wanted to, so we had to close the site." So at first, it was because GOG had such a great community. At first, everyone was very, very sad about it, because they just lost one of their most favorite digital distribution platforms, and it looks like we're not coming back. Unfortunately, that was just a trick, a marketing stunt we did. So after 4 days, the GOG.com launched again with a new version of the store, with new games, new features. So, and when that happened, people got really, really mad. So that was a huge backlash for us. People were like, you lied to us, first of all. Second of all, for 4 days, you didn't give us access to games that we actually bought on your service. So it was huge backlash for us. Of course, That gave us very huge publicity. So we got covered by probably every tech and gaming outlet out there in the world. Before that, GOG.com was known by the gaming sites, but we didn't really get covered because we sold old games, so come on, who's interested in old games? So, but we got covered really by Wired, Engadget, PC Gamer, everyone, even GameStop, everyone at that time covered us. So we had great publicity, but we had a huge backlash from our community. That's why Guillaume and Marcin actually dressed us monks, and we recorded a video where they were actually asking for forgiveness. We are very sorry. Please forgive us. So that was something we did because you actually don't want. You should say sorry. It's like it's nothing bad to say sorry. We did bad stuff. So after that, it wasn't over. Actually, the GOG.com monk became a big thing because you actually could meet GOG monk in The Witcher 2, Assassin of Kings, in one of the locations. And we actually had also a GOG monk papercraft, which was added to The Witcher 2, Assassin of Kings boxed version of the game. So quickly, customer support. Be available, so listen to your customers and be available on all possible channels that they want to contact you. Choose a friendly tone, try to feel like your customer. Give them what they want, basically. It's your fault that they have an issue. And be loyal to your loyal customers. Okay, quickly. If you're building a global distribution, please remember about staying local. Here's a graph showing Steam community actually translating Steam into other languages. If you're an English-speaking person, it's okay for you to use an English service. But if you're not an English-speaking person, you'd like to make purchases in a place where you actually can contact the customer support in your language and you want to read all the descriptions in your language. So that's what actually the community on Steam is doing. They're translating the service by themselves to their language. Also, if you're going global, you probably use credit cards, PayPal, and that's probably it. But people want actually to use the payment system they are used to. If you're, I don't know, if you're based in Poland, for example, for me, I'll use PayU because it's easy. I have my bank account linked, so I want to make purchases easy. So I'm just using the payment method I'm using in other Polish shops. So you're going global, but please think about the local communities as well. Okay, so if you're running a digital distribution store, please don't just sell games. That's one part, of course, the most important, but actually you have plenty of other things to do to just engage your community. And you can also have fun while doing it. So that's probably, you know it, but people that actually use content that so their viewers or readers, they're using the content you're creating, they're more likely to spend money. So please, what you have to do, make content. So for example, at Games Republic, we came up with the Indie Spotlight. That's an initiative for indie games. Because we are part of 11-Bit Studios, which is an indie studio, we want to go back to indies and just show them support. So we created an indie spotlight where we actually connected with some indie initiatives and media and we're just giving indie developers a place to show their games, and we are actually doing some content for them. We're doing video interviews, we're doing top 10s, we're doing articles, reviews, etc., etc. So we're creating content for fans of indie games so they can go out to one place and find everything they are actually interested in right here. These are some stuff we did also for GOG.com. So if you know GOG.com, it is famous for having DRM-free games, right? There's no DRM. So we came up with an idea with Dr. M, and we did like a comic book which featured actually employees from the GOG office. The guy on the cover, that's actually me, if you can resemble. So we actually did some creative send-outs to media with wooden boxes from Dr. M, which actually had Baldur's Gate discs inside. We even created a Twitter account where Dr. M just posted some cheesy DRM jokes. Okay. And you should also give reason for people to come back. So any sort of gamification, it's either collecting cards, achievements, or currency, anything you come up with that makes people just come back to your place, not only to buy games, but also to interact with the service and have fun, that's great. That's what, for example, Steam does, right? With the cards and badges and stuff. And last but not least, find your way. And because people that were services that are different get better, they get better publicity, they get more traffic, and they are different, so people want to check them out. So quickly, Steam does this the best because, first of all, they were the first ones there, so they have your gaming library. They have user reviews, which are probably the most used user reviews on the internet. Achievements, cards, what I said before. GOG.com has DRM-free games and selection of good old games, which they started with. So GOG.com was good old games first. Now they're new games as well. Humble Store, which has cheap bundles and you can support charity. There's also Chrono GG. I don't know if you know it. They have like each and every one day they have just one offer. There's one most probably indie game with a great price, but only for 24 hours, and they get YouTuber support as well. So where does this place Games Republic? Because I'm from Games Republic, so let me just quickly tell you about it. So at first we came up with the idea play, share, earn. So the Games Republic was created mainly for content creators. We wanted to create a place where content creators like YouTubers and bloggers will come, where community of gamers will come, and where actually game creators will come. So we gave an option for people to build a shop inside Games Republic. So I need to finish so quickly. So you can, if you're doing videos, you can create a shop inside the Games Republic, and you can actually say, hey, I'm making this video. If you like the game, you can actually buy this game in my shop, support me, I'll get a cut from the sale. So basically that was the main concept. Unfortunately, big money came into YouTube. So big YouTubers get loads of cash from big companies. So they're not actually interested in having a small cut of 15–20% cut from each sale, because that's pennies for them. So right now, actually, I cannot say nothing about the new project, but we're actually now developing a new version of Games Republic, which is coming early 2017. It's going to be something way different than anything there's on the market. So we are going to try to be, be different, do something else than anyone else does. Okay, I think here's a quick summary. So stand out, get content creation, give reasons to come back, create for your community, and please don't shut your site just for marketing stunt. Okay, if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer those.
Hello, I'm Konstantin from Playroom. We were talking about general platforms reviewing like console games and games for PCs.
Yeah.
Do you think there is any possibility that there are going to be a dedicated game platform, like aggregator, regarding mobile games? Because now we have like iOS, like Store and Google Play, which have like trending, but generally it's kind of messy because everything is there and there is only featuring, and it's not dedicated for gamers.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's the issue with mobile games, which is also the issue with console games. So you have, on consoles, you have only Xbox Live or PSN, where you can buy games, right, for your console via digital distribution. Unfortunately, that's the same case for mobile, as you have only the shop from Apple or from Google. And I really don't think either Apple or Google will give the opportunity to other companies to actually build a shop, a digital distribution platform for their operating systems and earn money, basically. So I think at least what can be done is just create some either websites that actually gather the best mobile games, where you can from there you can go to App Store or Google Play and buy those. I don't think either Apple or Google will actually let anyone to get to their and get their cut from the sales, unfortunately. Anyone else?
Hi, Lukasz.
Hello.
Thomas from Vidlunia. Actually, thank you very much for your presentation. And what is interesting is that you say, and we all say it's a good question, that create your community.
Yep.
Yeah. And go through community, distribute it. Yeah. So answer to your customers. But the question we all ask sometimes, yeah, how to create this community. Yeah. So you only started your company. Yeah. So you have pictures, you making fun, yes, so to make it with your team, yes, so you have a heels of crisis, yes, so whatever, yes, so you make some movies, yeah, about your, and make some assets, yeah, about your game, but where to find the community? Because there are a lot of groups, yeah, so social networks, yeah, so you as 11 Studios also met your colleague on the DevGam, yes, so I have been there in Moscow this year. And actually you like these premium games, yeah, so and how to create this community, because how to start, where to start, because the developers around, they do not bring you anything. They can hug you, yeah, and say your game is great, but they are not your players.
Yeah.
And where to start?
Okay, so I think with the community, it's actually, you have to start with being different, basically. So if you're creating a digital distribution store, which is just like other digital distribution stores, that's going to be hard to find the community and build a community around your service. Because why would people want to be in your place instead of being on Steam or GOG or a place where actually they're doing something different? So first off, think of your digital distribution store as a thing that should be somehow different than others. If you're a bit different than others, then you have the first, you have the first step to just grab the people and say, hey, we're a bit different. We're doing different stuff. Come over, check us out. That's the first step to build a community for your service. The other thing is, well, as for Games Republic, we're part of 11-bit Studios, so it's also a bit easier for us because we already have a community around This War of Mine, right? And we can get the people who like This War of Mine. We can, say, hey, you like This War of Mine? You're supporting 11-bit Studios. Here's a digital distribution store we own. So if you'd like to, just hang around and be closer to us, just come over. So that's the other thing. If you have a game that has some following, you can actually transfer those people to go to your community and then build it around your store, not only around the game. So these are the things that, of course, I said that don't actually just focus on social networks, but that's the place where actually there are people, and you should use social networks as well to get the community and to gather them. But still, you need to be somehow different. Give the reason to people to actually come over to you and, be there, just come back and be the community. So at first, you need to somehow be different from others and give the reason to people to come over. It's also the gamification stuff. If you're doing some daily, daily incentives to come over and get something for logging in every day, or you have the cards, achievements, whatever. That's also something that actually builds a community around your service. So these are the things that will actually bring people to your service, but then you have to give them tools to build a community, like forums, messages, whatever you think of. So they have actually a possibility to reach out to other people and connect. Yep, that's it. Where's the mic? Yeah, I'm just looking for it.
Okay.
Yep.
Hi. My name is Alex Plitika.
Hello.
I want to ask you about creating community via social network like Facebook. For example, how much increase sell or distribution a game if you create a social group with generating original content, like Supercell. They create right now their original movies.
Yep.
And for example, Hearthstone, they involve celebrity. And so how much it could increase sell of your product?
Well, I would say sky is the limit, most probably. But if you're actually doing content creation, that depends basically what will you do. If you're doing it good, it can actually be the main income from your sales. If you're doing great content, people will just come and support you and will want you to create more of this content. So content creation would be, sky is the limit. I cannot, give you a number, but basically if you're doing it good, then you can actually be really, really successful about it. So that's why, content creation is great for social networks, because that's how you can actually interact with people and attract them to come over to your place. So even if they don't know your brand and they see a fun, or great content from you, they're more likely to come over and buy from you, right? Okay, thank you very much. If you have